What's going on, creatures? This is Johnny. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm going to show y'all the back of my shirt real quick here before I start this video. Just because I think it's an awesome shirt. Yeah. Because it's true, right? Man, I'm a little all over the place. I'll explain a little bit here. Just got back from a bike ride. Went out in the woods. Stopped a couple of spots on the trail and just went in the woods. And a lot of times, like when I've been on my bike rides lately, I'll just bike through, and it's been a couple of times, like, take a pit stop and take a piss in the woods or whatever when I have to. But today I decided to embark on a mushroom journey. I'm still currently experiencing the effects of such peculiar beings, channeling Terrence McKenna for whatever reason, and I hardly know anything about him. Rather peculiar fellow, isn't he? Mushrooms just do that to you, I guess. Full disclaimer, I am not recommending taking mushrooms to anybody. I'm just sharing my experience because for whatever reason I feel it prudent to do so and to explain kind of how it came about, really. I had planned today, initially, when I got up after getting my I've been doing 3-stage enemas actually for the past few mornings. I've explained how that goes. Sometimes I explain way in detail sometimes, but I'd planned to play Black Ops 3 Zombies all day long today, and it's actually, video games are something that I haven't really gotten into for like months. I had actually almost thrown away my Xbox One. It was in the trash, and I took it out. I was like, nah, it's probably not worth it, man. It's like, just because I don't have a TV that works right now doesn't mean that I couldn't use it at some point, or sell it, or whatever. That was a day when I went kind of ham on just throwing a bunch of shit away that I didn't need. And I'm taking my time with that, but no, I've got my laptop. I got Steam on there, so I've been checking out some of the BO3 workshop maps on there. Really good ones. I just have to turn my graphics settings down pretty low if I want it to run smooth, because it's a laptop, but it's decent actually. It runs pretty good for what it is. But after doing a little soul searching, I came across a video from Teal Swan. It was a short, and this is just all a perfect synchronistic thing that happened for me. I think that it was titled, "What is the greatest spiritual teacher?" or "Who or what is?" And I wanted her to say Yeshua or Jesus, but I also kind of knew that she wouldn't. She said fungus is the greatest spiritual teacher. She explained how if an alien race were to come down here to this planet, the first thing that they would engage in is the very utmost connected beings. And basically the foundation of everything that exists in this world has to do and is ruled by fungus. The fungal network, mycelium network, there's like, I can't remember, it's like 50,000 miles of mycelium. If you just take one step outside, right underneath your feet, it's like 50,000 miles of mycelium network just right beneath your feet, and that's just one step. It's an incredibly intelligent, completely and utterly connected, allowing the trees to communicate with each other, feeding nutrients to trees that don't have enough, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They do a ton of things. Not only the non-psychedelic, but the psychedelic variety that I've been sitting on some shrooms that I've had for a while, and I didn't feel like it was the right time until today. After watching that short, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have some mushroom tea today and see how that goes. Going into it with fully loving intention towards myself about it, with absolutely no fear. And it's a low dose. Like, I don't like to high dose psychedelics. I just don't. For me, it's just not a good thing, because I don't go into it trying to see things, really. I feel so deeply already that a low dose for me of psilocybin is so powerful just by itself. And I love tea because it kicks in a little bit quicker, so it's not like a creeper type of a thing. So you get a bit of a, you know, really when it's kind of coming on type of a thing. So I was sipping on chamomile and psilocybin mushroom tea, and I pick up my guitar and I just start wailing on it, just playing Iron Man, played Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, a couple of other Metallica songs, and really just letting my soul sing, you know, very powerful. And as you know, about an hour later, I get this feeling of like, man, I really want to. I was laying flat on the ground for a bit just because it felt really good. And I was like, oh, I feel I'm like part of the floor. Oh, that's awesome. And I was like, I don't really ever do this, but I'm going to go for a bike ride on mushrooms. And because I wanted to be closer to nature. I knew that. I got over the fear of, whatever else. And it didn't bother me at all. And I was surprised. There was like no effort. It felt like I didn't feel like I was pushing myself, straining myself, even on the bike where I would normally. It's like the mushrooms were just taking me there gently. So I stopped a couple places and tried to make friends with the mosquitoes, or not really make friends, but um, I wasn't perfect. I slapped many, but then I end up going to this place that we all used to go in there and like smoke weed, and sometimes drink or whatever. And some of it's kept up still. It's like a nature center area. It was just so nostalgic, man. Like, I went back in there. I was just walking, and I looked back behind me, and just a swarm of mosquitoes, like buzzing around my hair and everything. Some of them sounded way too large to be mosquitoes. It was like, maybe I was just hearing different different frequencies and vibrations and everything. But so it was annoying, but I wasn't freaking out about it. And I got to a point in the nature center where there's there's a little outpost thing. You can like walk up these wooden stairs and just like kind of look out over the wooded area. And I was like, man, it feels so good to be out here. And I thought of like, I was the only one out there. And I was like, it's no question to me how long people have been divorced from the natural world, and how when people, they step into the forest and they start getting bit by mosquitoes, and thorns start hitting them. Being raised in in such a closed, confined environment, it's no question why people don't want to go out there and do it, but it felt so natural to just go out there and brave it. And there was one mosquito landed on my hand. I was like, okay, I'm just going to let it do its thing instead of like freaking out and trying to. So I let it do it for a bit, and I was like, oh, this ain't bad. And then it started like, it felt like it was like going deeper, and I was like, I'm just going to brush it off. But yeah, I don't get out into the actual woods very often, but the mushrooms led me there today. And it makes me want to bring out my machete and like uh, get that area like more kept up, because there's like a dock that kind of goes out on this kind of swampy area. All of the cattails are like growing up beneath man, it like when we used to go out there, it was really nice and kept up on. There's so much overgrowth in there now, and it's kind of sad. It's like good on you, nature. I mean, nature's gonna do what it does, but just brought me back to that, you know. And I was just walking through a couple different areas, getting bit up by mosquitoes, and trying to focus on the beauty of everything around me. But the got to be honest, the mosquitoes were pretty intense. And when you're the only like warm-blooded creature out in the woods, and they all find you. I think it'd be different if there was like a lot of us, just a couple mosquitoes per person. That's what I thought. I was like, man, this would be probably a lot more tolerable if we had like a huge group of people or a couple or whatever. And it made me realize that, like, man, we really need each other, man. We need each other. It's much better with more people, man. It gets lonely being isolated all the time, man. It really does. Even though I'm not alone, there's just now an urge in me to put myself out there a little bit more. Partially me making more regular videos and not deleting them because I realize that that's futile to delete all my old stuff. And I kind of wish I wouldn't have deleted a lot of my old videos, and I won't be doing that anymore. That's a promise that I'm making to myself, you know, because whether or not I delete that video, it's, it was said and done. It's where I was at that time for whatever reason. Like, just my perfectionist kind of control freak type of mind, you know, just wanting everything to be super polished and perfect and everything. And that can be useful, but it's not it's not what should be leading the show. The heart is what leads, you know, when we allow her to. Behind every man, there is an even greater woman. Whether or not that's your wife or your mother, your sister. It's so true, man. This world would be a living nightmare without women, and vice versa. I can't say that it would be any worse if there was like, I'm not going to get into that. We all need each other. There shouldn't. I would just rather not see us fighting against each other in any kind of a way. And really, when you get out into the real world, unless you live in a big city with people that are already suffering from mental illness, from confinement sickness, I'll call it. I mean, it's confining yourself in an apartment, confining yourself in like some type of a shitty job you don't like, and you know, big city life is not natural, and it's definitely very not for me or certain other people. You either find that out very quickly and thankfully and get out of there, or you embrace it because you're just a different kind of person who can kind of maybe to some degree more extroverted and kind of likes being around a lot more people. That's cool too. Like, we need both of those kinds of people. Truly, I believe. All of us are needed. All of us came to this world with a very specific, unique thing to offer this world. And, you know, that's a continuous unveiling just by living life as we are able to the best of our ability. But I thank the fungus today for um, well, my intention when going into it was with the utmost love for myself, and to also kind of rediscover myself, you know, and that's exactly what it did. It brought out all of the best things that was able to come from me currently right now, and it brought me to places and experiences just in this one day, and in my heart and in my soul. You know, that's why the intention of what, if you, you know, if one were to partake in psychedelics, like I said, I don't like high dosing. I just, unless you're in like a setting where you have a group of people watching over you and they have the highest and best intentions for you, that's very different. Like a, you know, some type of ceremonial thing or whatever. But I don't like high dosing by myself, especially. I like the, you know, it was maybe a half to 1 gram of I just chopped them up and threw them in a metal, like a sort of tea thing, boiled up some water, poured it over that with my chamomile tea in there, just to make it taste a little better, you know. I gotta run to the bathroom real quick, y'all. I will be right back. All right, thank y'all for being patient. Highly appreciate that. Always. I am currently fasting, so I've just been drinking a ton of fluids, electrolytes, and all that good stuff. So I've got a video I'm going to be uploading tonight, hopefully, once I put it all together. The tutorial for my lentil loaf um, turned out really good. I did a couple of things a little bit differently this time, and I was cutting it up, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm just gonna smell it, not even eat it, because just deny yourself, you know." Deny yourself, pick up your cross, and walk with me, lad. You know what I'm saying, bro? Spirit of Yeshua is coming through strong, bro. The little mushroom flavor. It's really nice. I feel really at touch and one with all. Like when I went into the woods earlier, I picked a spot where I just want to like walk in. It's like I didn't even have to walk in that far, and like instantly once all of the leaves just start to like cover and like you're out of the open, you just like look at everything and you're like, wow, thank you. Like it's that's it's just, nature is gorgeous. Nature is unapologetic, you know. Like all the mosquitoes, man. Like I'm still itching. And it's like I'm training myself now. I'm training myself to get more used to that, because I think it's so important to like realize like how divorced really most of society is from nature itself and just being in the woods. And I mean, I don't live in that hostile of a nature environment. It's just the mosquitoes that are the biggest threat, really, if anything. And it's like I'm not afraid of like so-called diseases or like, you know, viruses or whatever. I haven't taken antibiotics since, man, honestly can't remember the last time. It was around age 20 or before that. I'm not totally sure. But I knew from what I knew that if I continue taking antibiotics, I just I was good with words even then. And it was like antibiotic, anti-life, bio, life, antibiotic, anti-life, pills. No, thank you. You know? So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to tough through it. And I didn't even have the knowledge that I have now about like repopulating your gut with healthy things. I was, I was just getting into cooking at that time too, making stir fries, all that stuff. Back when I was eating meat, doing like chicken stir fries and rice and just gigantic bowls of rice and all that stuff. You got to start somewhere, man. You got to start somewhere. Eating meat or not eating meat does not make you a better or worse person. For me, my reasons for it is my faith and belief, and this is very specific for my reason, is that it's scientifically proven that eating meat is not good for longevity. It could potentially be good for short term things if somebody had been eating meat their whole life, but also eating it with carbs. And so now they have leaky gut, all these things. Some level of a ketogenic diet could be good short term, but ketogenic should never be done long term if you can help it. Carbohydrates are necessary. They hydrate the muscles. The golden era bodybuilders knew like 60% of your diet carbs at least, you know, high carbohydrate diet. That's what fills out your muscles. That's what, restores the glycogen. It's where you get your strength from, really. But there's so many different versions of, eating, fasting, etc., etc. I just do what comes naturally. I don't even count protein or calories, and I just eat till I'm pretty satiated, and sometimes I'll eat too much, and that's okay. I have digestive enzymes, so it's all good. It's part of the learning process, man. And after I got back, man, I sat in the sun, just using my body as a solar panel, feeling the warmth and the love of the sun. Oh my God, man. It's like I already appreciated these things before, but psilocybin, when it's taken in a certain dose with a certain intention, and when you're at a certain place in life and within your within your spirit, it's just that warm golden glow, and I can just see it. I can see it like not even just from the sun. It's like it's everywhere the light is. I can see it so much more clearly, so much more. I can see clearly now. The rain's gone. It's like my inner lion is coming out to play, you know, not to thrash and maul, because unfortunately, you know, that's not what they were intended to do. And I'm not going to argue with anybody about that. Nature is a direct reflection of the collective consciousness of humanity. We were given stewardship over this world, this land, many, 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 many years ago. And no judgment. No judgment. I got like no hate in my heart whatsoever. I couldn't invite that if I wanted to. And I don't want to. So the mushrooms are just reflecting back to me, showing me myself in a big way from within and from without, from within, from without, Just beautiful. So I just wanted to share my experience. And anytime I've done a low dose mushroom tea with a good intention in there and being in a state where I'm just ready for it. And like, shout out to Teal Swan. Appreciate that initiation. Shout out to Teal Swan, man, for real. She is a teal swan, no doubt. Swans are hard to tame, that's for sure. They can be a little vicious. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, uh, I love y'all. I really do. I appreciate y'all tuning into this very chiller, quite literally down to earth uh, chat. And until next time, y'all, stay peculiar.